Catalina 27, Part 3. So it's been a year since my last video, and one of the major updates that I've done is I've put a 25 horsepower high thrust outboard on the back, and I replaced the 9.9 outboard that was on here. The reason why I got rid of the 9.9 is I was having a hard time finding parts, and I was also having a hard time finding anybody that wanted to work on one of those older motors. Some of the other updates with this motor include controls and steering mechanism, so I'll be able to steer the boat a lot easier, lift the motor up and out of the water a lot easier, and start it a lot easier. This bracket was originally intended for a smaller motor, so I got a welder to beef it up, and I'm going to add some bracing. Here's an AI picture to give you an idea of what the bracing might look like. I had come up with an idea on how to install this motor using this spinnaker pole, and I'll show you the idea in the shop, but this is how I ended up putting the outboard on the boat. So this is the spinnaker pole, and we've kind of got a little bit of a test. I hooked it up to a post in my shop, and I actually lifted the motor and it was fine. So we're going to put this on the boat, but that's sort of the idea, is we will move this over to the dock, lift the motor, and then swing the motor in behind the boat and lower it down. So the chain hoist on the top would lower the boom and raise the boom, which would move the motor in and out. And this chain hoist connected to the motor would move the motor up and down. And it worked quite well, and we were able to install it without having any problems. So there are a lot of things that are going to need to be done for the install on this motor, which I'll show in my later videos. And I'm going to move on to something that the diver pointed out to me when he did an inspection on the boat. The first thing is the bulkhead. The diver pointed out that this is in really good condition for the year of the boat, and it is something that you should look for when purchasing a boat because it's very important. I didn't realize this. I didn't even look at the bulkhead when I purchased the boat. I did not know anything about that, but it would be a good thing if you are purchasing a Catalina 27 or a sailboat of any kind to check the bulkhead, especially where the main mast is connected to. The previous owner had told me that he had replaced this, and looking it over, I noticed that he did an excellent job in this, so I'm well pleased that the bulkhead is in good condition. And then the other thing that the diver looked at and said can be a problem on these boats is the bolts holding the keel on, and he said that the bolts holding the keel on mine were in really good condition as well. So those two things he looked at and were in good condition, and I would recommend if you're buying a sailboat that you take the time to look at those and make sure they're in good working order. That'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.